Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's go over lesson 9, the broken plural, الجمع المكسر. It was mentioned previously that there is no rule to construct the broken plural. It is totally based on hearing the plural from the people of the language. So we have al-jam al-salim, that it takes form. It has a rule. For example, from muslimun it becomes muslimuna, or from muslimatun it becomes muslimatun, as opposed to a mukassar that doesn't follow any rule. From rajulun it will be rijalun, things like that. Here under we list some of the scales of the broken plural which are used most often. So even in this, even though it's broken, there are still some scales that we could use. So af'alun, awladun. So waladun, awladun. So waladun becomes awladun. So it is af'alun. Farusun is horse, afrasun. So af'alun, same way. Sharifun, somebody, I guess, polite. Ashrafun. Jama of matarun, rain, is amtarun. I think matarun, rain. Matar is rain, yeah. Maybe wrong. Jama of waqtun, time, awqatun. Jama of malikun. It's saying jam'u malikin because when you put jama and malik together, it is a form of mudaf ilay. So it is saying jama, plural of. Remember, if you say rajulu baitin, or ghulamu rajulin, or baitu rajulin, the house of the man, ghulamu rajulin, the slave of the man. So it is same way, jam'u malikin. It's supposed to be malikun, but because it is in a mudaf ilay state, that's why it is malikin. So jam'u malikin is mulukun. This is a different scale. Fu'ulun, kings. That's right here, malikun. Asadun, lion. Usudun. So fu'ulun, usudun. Haqqan, jam'u haqqan. The reason haqqa, actually jam'u haqqin. So haqqun, haqqin. Huququn. I don't know the exact meaning of haqq. I know haqq means truth, but I don't know what it means here. Haqqun. Jam'u shahidin. So jama of shahidun. Somebody shahid. Actually not shahid. Shahidun. I think it's come from ashhad. Shahida yashhadu ashhadu. Shahidun. Somebody who testifies. So shuhudun. And shahidun and shahidun, they're also similar. I think there's going to be another rule in the future we'll learn, like alimun and alimun. So it's likewise shahidun and shahidun. Okay, that's another lesson. And that is still fu'ulun. We're going to use that rule, fu'ulun. Qalbun, heart. Qulubun, same way, fu'ulun. Jundun, soldier. Junudun, junudun. By the way, tasniya would be qalbani, jundane. Wajhun, wajhun is a face, so wajhane, wujuhun. So wajhun is one, and of course jama is wujuhun. Next scale is fi'alun. This thing, fi'alun. This has a ba next to it. This has jim next to it. I don't know what it's this jim or the ba stands for. Let's see if we can find out. So jama of kalbun, jama kalbin, dog, is kilabun. Thabun, cloth. Thiyabun. So thawbani, thiyabun. Next one is jama of rumhun. Probably means spear or something. Not sure about this one. Jam or rajulun, rijalun. I mentioned this. So rajulun, rajulani, rijalun. Kabirun is big. Kibarun. So it could be a lot of big things. كبير كبيران كبار. صغير small. صغير صغيران صغار. بلد city بلاد. جمع of جمع كتاب book كتب كتاب كتابان كتب. جمع مدينة مدينة is also it also means some sort of city. مدينة مدينتان مدن. So that is unique, that's cool. مدن. Okay, it's taking فعل. So كتاب كتب مدينة مدن. سفينة. I think سفينة means ship, I think. So سفن. جمع of صحيفة. صحيفة is a book. Or scripture. صحف. جمع of طريق. طريقة road or path. طرق. So this is the new one. مدينة مدن. طريقة طرق. رسل. رسول. جمع رسول. Messenger is رسل. رسولان رسل. Next form is أفعل. This is شهر. River. No, شهر month. أشهر. نهر is river. جمع of رجل. I think it's leg. أرجل رجل أرجل. أفعل. نهر river. أنهر. بحر ocean. أبحر. Oh, okay, so نهر and بحر same form. نفس أنفس. نفس means the I guess self or the conscious or your soul. Actually soul is different. That's روح. جمع of عين eye. عينان أعين. أنفس أعين. So that is again أفعل أعين. And it could take the same thing. It is taking this form. I guess of course you guys realize by now. فعل still there. So we gotta figure out which one is فعل. So for example in عين right here. Ain is the fa kalma, ya is the ain kalma, and nun is the nun kalma. So it's going to be maf'ulun a'yunun. So that's how they transformed it. Next is fu'ala'u. That's the next form. Some jama wazirun. Wazir is like a secretary of some sort of governor. Uzara'u. So fu'ala'u uzara'u. أمير. أمير. جمع أمير is أمراء. شاعر. شاعر is poet. So شاعر شعراء. جمع of سفيه. سفيه. I think سفيه means foolish person. So سفيه or be سفهاء. أمين. أمين is trustworthy. أمين جمع أمين. أمناء. That's cool. أمناء. جمع of وكيل. وكيل lawyer, I think. وكلاء. جمع of أسير. أسير means prisoner or captive. So أسراء. Captives, prisoners. Next rule, أفعلاء. This scale is generally used for adjective of intelligent being, which are in the scale of فعيل, as in. So this is a tricky one. أفعلاء. أفعلاء. This comes from, okay, so I mean basically you probably heard of this before, like I heard of this. صديق أصدقائي. I knew it, but I didn't know the scale. Now I know the scale, so we probably will know the rules of the plurals, جمع مكسر, broken plural, but these are the rules, I guess, the wasn't scale, broken scales. جمع صديق is أصدقائي. Jama of Nabiyun, Anbiya. Everybody knows Anbiya. So it comes from Nabiyun, Anbiya. Af'ila, Af'ila'u. So fa'ala, that is how it is used. So in here, in Nabiyun, Nun is the fa kalma. So an, ba is the fa kalma, ba is the ain kalma. So anbi, ya is the lam kalma. Anbiya'u, that's what it is. Anbiya'u, Anbiya'u. Jama of Habibun, Ahibba'u. I see. Okay, that is good. Habibun, beloved or loved. Ahibba'u. Sadiqun, by the way, is a friend. And asdiqai, of course. Asdiqa'u, friends. Jama of Qaribun, close. Aqriba, Qaribun, Aqriba'u. Ghaniyun, Aghniya'u, rich. The richest. Waliyun, Awliya'u, friend of Allah. Next one is Fu'lanu. It is from Fu'lanun. So let's say it is Jam' Farisun. Farisun. So Farisun is a knight, somebody, a horse rider basically, a cowboy type of. Farisun is horse. So Farisun, somebody who rides it, I think. So Farisun, knight. Fursanun, Baladun, Buldanun, Jama, city, Buldanun. Qadibin, I don't know what this means. Like a rod or some metallic stuff. I'm not sure. This, I'm not sure. Qadibun is Banun. Ghana. Next form is Fa'alilu. Personally, I'll just memorize these, the forms, because I may just, for me, I'll just probably most likely forget the scales of them. Just say it enough times, and then you should remember the forms. Jama of Unsurin. Unsurin is Anasiru. Unsurin is Anasiru. It has Nasar in there. It may mean some form of help, but I'm not sure what it means. There's a footnote for here for Habibun, Ahibba'u. The original was Ahbiba'u. The reason why it has changed into Ahibba'u will be explained later. Okay. So Habibun was Ahbiba'u before, because right, it makes sense, because it's Asdiqa'u, Anbiya'u, Ahbiba'u. It should be Ahbiba'u, but instead it is Ahibba'u. Ahbiba'u becomes Ahibba'u. Basically, the two B's became two bars became together into the mushaddad form. But I'll be explained later. Next page. Zalzalatun, earthquake. Zalzalatun, zalazilu. Zalzalatun, zalazilu. Jama of kawkabin, star. Kawakibu, stars. Jama of jawharun, ornaments. Jawahiru, jawahiru. The form over here was fa'alilu, jawahiru, jawharun, jawahiru. Note, the plural of 5-letter words also come on this scale. However, the final letter has to be deleted. Example, the plural of safarjala is safariju. Okay, so that's another tricky one. The plural of 5-letter words also come on this scale. So if it's 5-letter word, it'll be the last letter has to be deleted. So let's say fa'alilu. That's from Jama of finjanun. It's fanajinu. Okay, fanajinu. Finjanun, fanajinu. جمع صندوق box is صناديق صناديق. جمع قنديل, think of it as candle, so I think maybe candle has probably arrived from this word. قنديل is قناديل lamp. جمع of خنزير pig, خنازير. جمع بستان garden, بساتين gardens. جمع of سلطان king, سلاطين. So that's an interesting one. فنجان, فناجين, صندوق, صناديق. Again, فعاليل, that is the form. Next broken scale is فعاللة. فعاللة. جمع of أستاذ teacher is أساتذة. أساتذة. أستاذ. جمع أستاذ أساتذة. That is strange, but that's how it must be. أستاذ is أساتذة teachers. جمع of تلميذ student, تلامذة. تلميذ تلاميذ. ملك, ملائكة. ملائكة. ملك angel, angels. ملك, ملائكة. فعاللة. ملائكة. فعاللة. ملك. So it is فعاللة. فعل. ملائكة. Where did this Hamza come from, I wonder? It doesn't go in this rule, like ملائكة. فعاللة. فعاللة. على. It should have been malakikatun, but it becomes malaikatun for some reason. I'll just memorize that as is. This scale is specific with intelligent being. The following is mafa'ilu is used for intelligent beings. This scale is specific with those words that are on the scale of maf'alun, maf'ilun, or maf'alatun. So any word that has that fall in these scales, we're going to use this Jama Mukassar scale to transform their Jama, transform their I guess the Wahid, the singular version. Jama is Markabun is Marakibu. Jama of Masjidun is Masajidu. Jama of Maktabatun, library, Makatibu. So Mafa'ilu, Masajidu, Marakibu. Next scale is Mafa'ilu. This scale is used for those words that are on the scale of Mif'alun and Maf'ulun. For example, Miftahun, key, Mafatihu. And then Jama of Maktubun, something Maktubun that is written on. Makatibu, Maktubun, Makatibu. The following plural scales are غير منصرف, منصرف, غير منصرف. And it says this is the certain class of nouns that is not fully declined. European grammarians sometimes refer to them as diptodes. Diptodes. This term is discussed in volume 4. Okay. Tanwin will not be read on them. غير منصرف. So مفاعيل, مفاعل, فعاليل, فعالل, أفعلاء, فعلاء. Remember the plural of the following words in particular. The second plural of ibnun is the sound plural of ibnun is bununa. In halat rafa, bununa. The nominal case and banina in jar and halat nasab. Halat nasab and jar. The accusative and genitive cases. Its broken plural is abna'u. Okay, the sound plural of ibnun. We know that plural of ibnun is abna. أبناء. But the sound plural in حالة الرفع, nominative is basically when it is the subject, it is the doer, not the subject, it is the doer, فاعل, it is بنون. حالة النصب and jar, it is بنينة. The accidental, okay. The local plural is أبناء. The plural of ابنة is بنات. ابنة, ابنة, بنات. The plural of أخ is إخوان or إخوة. The plural of أخت is أخوات. امرأة is نساء or نسوة. Plural of is أمهات. أمهات المؤمنين. Some words have plurals on several scales, hence the plurals of بحر are بحار or أبحار or أبحر or بحور. I see, that is interesting and confusing as well. So some words, we know, we've learned in the above that بحر نهر, it's أبحر, نهر is أنهر, but they could also have بحار, I'm thinking نهار for river as well, so same as أبحار, probably أنهار, بحور, and so on. Some words have different scales of plurals, rendering different meanings. For example, the word baitun, that's even more complex. Baitun means house or verse of a poem. Regarding the first meaning, the plural is buyutun. So baitun, buyutun, we know this. While the plural abiyatun, abiyatun is related to the second meaning. Okay, so buyutun will mean the initial meaning of house, but baitun also means a verse of a poem. I didn't know that. If you wanted to mean that multiple verses or something, then you would say abiyatun. That is pretty genius. The word abdun, which means slave or servant, the respective plural is abidun and ibadun. Abidun and ibadun. Ibadullah, read that. Abidun. We also have abidun. I don't see this much or hear this much. Ainun means eye or a spring. I see. So ayunu and uyunun. So ayunu are eyes and uyunun are the springs. Pretty beautiful. The plurals of some words are provided next to them. Some of the words. Basirun, scowling, frowning. Basirun. Ab'adun or ba'dun, some or part of. Thabitun, fixed, established, thabit. Jarun or jiranun, neighbor, jarun, neighbor. Hadidun, iron, hadidun. Khayrun, good. Safirun or sufara'u, ambassador. Safirun, sufara'u. Saifun, suyufun, sword. Shayun, tea. Shurutun or shartun, condition, shart. Sa'bun or si'abun, difficult. Sa'bun or si'abun. Tawilun or tiwalun, long or tall. Arabiyun or Arabiyatun, Arabian. Farighun, empty, farigh. It could also mean free, I think, but it's okay, we just go with this. Farighun. Qati'un, cutting, sharp. Al-madrasatu al-aliyatu, high madrasa, high school. Al-muttaqiyun, al-muttaqiyu, pious. Muti'un, obedient. Mutahharatun, pure or clean. Maw'izatun or mawa'idhu, advice. Nadiratun, fresh. Nadiratun, looking. Nadiratun, nadira is fresh. Nadira is looking. Nafisun or nafa'isu, precious. Nafisun or nafa'isu comes from nafis, precious. I think it comes from nafis. Next, nafi'un, beneficial. Yamun, a day. Al-yawma, today. Yawma idhin, on that day. Yawma idhin. Zinatun, beautiful, or actually beauty. Zina, beauty. Baqiyatun, remaining, permanent. الباقيات الصالحات, the good actions. الباقيات الصالحات, the good. صالحات, the actions. باقية باقيات الصالحات. Okay. رمح, spear. Okay, so this word came on top. رمح or رماح, the spear, lance, javelin. فنجان, a cup. فناجين, سفرجلة, quince. So quince means a hard acid pear-shaped fruit. Okay, so that's a fruit. Safarjala. Exercise number 8. In the undermentioned examples, the adjective or the predicate of an unintelligent being is used mostly as singular feminine. Or the predicate of one being is mostly as singular feminine. Translate the following phrases or sentences into English. So start off from number 1. أقلام أقلام طويلة. So أقلام, unintelligence, قلم, أقلام, tall pen, a lot of tall pen. العلوم نافعة, the beneficial knowledge. Next. الأولاد صغار, the small kids or the small childs. Small boys, I'd say, actually, child. رجال, men. رجال صالحون, pious men. There's so many of them. الكتب صعبة, the difficult books. الشروط الصعبة, the difficult conditions. طرق سهلة, easy path. صحف مطهرة, pure scriptures. الحقوق الثابتة, الحقوق الثابتة, الحقوق. Don't know the meaning of this. I'll skip number 10. Okay. هي المدن الوسيعة. وسيعة means wide. And مدن city, those are wide cities, big cities. No 12. الرماح الطوال من الحديد. The spears, the long spears from iron. The long spears are from iron, made out of iron, I guess. نساء مسلمات, Muslim women. هن أمهات, they are mothers. Number 15. الإخوان والأخوات جالسون, the brothers and the sisters are sitting. إن البنين والبنات مطيعون, verily the boys and the sons and the daughters are obedient. Number 17. السفراء حاضرون اليوم, the ambassadors are present today. ما هم بغائبين, ما هم بغائبين, they are not absent. بعض الشعراء من الصالحين الصادقين, some of the shu'ara poets are pious and truthful. Some of the poets. Okay. الجواهر النافسة لامعة, the precious jewelry are shining. إن الكلاب, verily the dogs. الحارسة جالسة على باب الدار. حارسة, verily the guarding dogs are sitting on the door, on the door of the house. That is cool. And verily the guarding dogs are sitting on the door of the house. Next. 22. المواعظ الحسنة نافعة, the beneficial advice are, the good advice are beneficial. 23. هم عبيد الإنسان ونحن عباد الرحمن. Subhanallah, they are the slave of men, and we are the servant of Allah. 24. في المدارس العالية, in the high school, معلمون من العلماء الكبار. in the in high school or high madrasa, there are معلمون, there are teachers, there are great teachers, big teachers, or I guess very expert teachers. Expert teachers are present in high schools or madrasa, big madrasas. الصناديق الفارغة, the empty boxes. لفناجين الشيء, the empty boxes are for teacups. The empty boxes are for teacups. حقوق الجيران كحقوق الأقرباء. حقوق الجيران, the rights of the neighbors. ka, like the حقوق الأقرباء, like the rights of the closed ones or relatives. So 26 means the rights of the neighbors are like the rights of the relatives. في البساتين, in the gardens. سفارج حلوة, in the gardens are quince, those pears, fruits. حلوة, sweet fruits. إن المتقين في جنات وعيون. Subhanallah. إن المتقين, verily the pious ones are في جنات, are in the gardens, and in the springs. Basically, the pious people, pious Muslims, or the pious believers will be in Jannat, in paradise gardens and in springs. وجوه يومئذ ناظرة. So wujuh is the faces. يومئذ, on that day, the faces on that day is fresh. ناظرة إلى ربها ناظرة. Subhanallah. Looking, ربها, toward their Lord, toward their Allah, ناظرة, looking. ووجوه يومئذ باسرة. Some faces are captive, seized. Okay, some of the faces will be radiant and looking at the Lord, and some of the faces will be contorted, twist, bend. Basira. May Allah save us from this Basira state. Here, al-malu, let's get the full meaning. Al-malu wal-banuna zinatul hayati dunya wal-baqiyatu salihatu khayrun 'inda rabbika thawaban wa khayrun amala. Wealth and children are but adornment of the worldly life, but the enduring good deeds are better for you, for your Lord, for reward, and better for one's hope. Okay? So basically, wealth and children, they're temporary. They're for this world only, but your good deeds are better liked by your Lord, and therefore here to stay. Reply to these questions in Arabic. Bismillah. هل عندك كتاب نافع? It's asking, do you have any beneficial book? نعم. عندي كتب نافعة. Yes, I have many beneficial books. هل عندك سيف قاطع? Do you have any cutting sword? لا. ما عندي سيف قاطع. I don't have any cutting. Actually, I do. I don't have a sword. I have a knife. هل عند حامد رمح طويل? Does Hamid have a tall or long spear? Let's say yes. نعم. حامد عنده رمح طويل. So it's عنده, he has عنده. Yes, Hamid has a tall javelin or spear. هل الأمير صالح? Is the leader or the Amir pious? نعم. But these days the answer would be no in most of the places. So it's a لا. الأمير غير صالح. The Amir, or I could say لا. الأمراء غير صالحين. The leaders are not pious. هل عندك ثوب نظيف? Do you have a clean cloth? نعم. عندي ثوب نظيف. ثوب نظيف. هل الصندوق فارغ? Is the box empty? Let's say again, yes again. نعم الصندوق فارغ. Yes, the box is empty. هل التلميذ حاضر اليوم؟ لا التلميذ غير غير حاضر اليوم. No, the student is not present today. هل عندك فنجان؟ نعم عندي فناجين. Yes, I have many cups. هل عندك سفرجل؟ لا ما عندي سفرجل. هل هو غني؟ Is he rich؟ نعم هو غني. هل هي ابنة صالحة؟ نعم هي ابنة صالحة. Yes, she is a pious daughter. عندك, do you? هل and be used interchangeably. So عندك جوهر نفيس؟ نعم, I have a couple of gold bars. نعم عندي جوهر نفيس. عندك مفتاح الصندوق? Do you have the key for the box? Let's say لا ما عندي مفتاح الصندوق. هل في المدرسة أستاذ؟ Is your أستاذ, is your teacher in the madrasa? نعم أستاذ في المدرسة. or أستاذي, I could say أستاذ, my teacher. هل في بمبا مكتبة كبيرة؟ بمبائي مكتبة كبيرة. بمبائي. What is بمبائي? مكتبة. Let's say yes. نعم بمبائي مكتبة كبيرة. Okay, translate the following phrases into Arabic. Number 1, the Muslim men. الرجال المسلمون. الرجال المسلمون. The men, Muslim men. The large ships. كبير كبار. So السفن الكبار. The clean cloths. ثياب and نظيفة. So الثياب نظيفة. ثوب نظيف. Okay. So الثياب النظيف. الثياب النظيف. The clean cloths. The flowing rivers. الأنهر الجارية. So we're going to use the plural. جمع مكسر. Broken plural is الأنهر, the rivers. Flowing is jari. So, but then we're going to use the unintelligent. For unintelligent beings, we're going to use the single feminine version, which is jariyatu. So it is al-anhurul jariyatu. In this case, this is a complete sentence. We'll say al-anhuru jariyatun. See the difference? Because this one is al-anhuru al-jariyatu, meaning the flowing rivers. It is an incomplete sentence, and this is a complete sentence. We say al-anhuru jariyatun without the alif lam on the jariyatun. So that means the rivers are flowing. The past months. Incomplete sentence. Al-ashhuru shahrun ashhuru madiyatun. So al-ashhurul madiyatu, past months. They are truthful witnesses. Hum shuhada'u هم شهداء صادقون. They are witnesses. هم الشهداء. هم الشهداء. They are truthful witnesses. هم شهداء. الشهداء الصادقون. هم so they are. Actually, this is a complete sentence. So they هم شهداء صادقون. Yeah, it's a little confusing. هم شهداء صادقون. شاهد شهداء. So شهداء صادقون. Truthful. The two tall mountains. Again, incomplete sentence. So both parts are gonna have alif lam. جبل جبلان. So tall is طاول. So الجبلان الجبلان طاولان. The two tall mountains. The spears are long. الرماح الرماح. Again, I would say طابلة because we're taking unintelligent plural, so it will just be singular feminine form. So طابلة. الرماح طابلة. و سيف سيوف. السيف حادة. I think حادة means sharp, not sure. Are you all, plural, unhappy? So أنتم زعلان. Unhappy, displeased. أنتم زعلان or فرحان is to be happy. So you could say أنتم زعلان or غير فرحانين, unhappy. No, we are cheerful. لا نحن مبسوط. No, we are cheerful. Some kings are just. سلاطين سلطان سلاطين. So we say بعض من السلاطين عادل. Right, so some of the kings, basically بعض من السلاطين, some of the kings, بعض من السلاطين are just. عادلون just. The cups of the tea are empty. So again, this is going to be a مضاف مضاف إليه. فناجين. So the first part is going to be without the alif lam. فناجين. الشيء, the tea. فناجين الشيء فارغة. So we'll say the cups of the tea are empty. فارغة. So again, فناجين الشيء or فناجين الشيء فارغة. Are you all, plural, friends? أأنتم or هل أنتم. So we'll say أأنتم أصدقائي. Are you guys friends? Yes, نحن we're relatives. نعم نحن أقربائي. The students and the teachers are in the madrasa. التلاميذ والأساتذة. أساتذ. التلاميذ والأساتذة في المدرسة. Those girls are playing. أولئك البنات لاعبات. لاعبات. أولئك البنات لاعبات. They're playing. Those girls are playing. Or هن لاعبات. They are playing. The people of Iman. People of Iman. are friends of. So people of Iman, literal translation is الرجال الإيماني. So الرجال actually الرجال not al. So رجال الإيماني رجال الإيماني أولياء الله. Or you could say مؤمن, people of Iman. Basically one word for it is المؤمن. المؤمن أولياء أولياء الله, friends of Allah. The tall houses, I'm going to use tawilun on that again. So al-buyutu at-tawilatun, al-buyutu at-tawilatu, al-buyutu at-tawilatu. The Arabian verses, al-ayat, al-ayat, ayat, al-ayat, al-ayatul arabiyyatu, al-ayatul arabiyyatu. The Arabian verses. Last one, the Quran has beneficial advice. Al-Quran, al-Quranu indahu mawa'idhu nafi'atun. Mawa'idhu or maw'idhatun nafi'atun. Test number 4. What is huruf asli or harf asli? Harf asli are those letters in a verb or a noun that are the root letters. In a verb we could have root letters and extra letters. So these are going to be root letters. For example, in fa'ala or karuma or nasara, these are the root letters and stuff. But they have other forms. Istansara, it is a derived from nasara. Or ifta'ala is a derived from derived form from fa'ala. That has extra letters. So in that ifta'ala, fa'ala will be the harf asli. And same thing with istansara. In that word, in that verb, nasara is going to be the harf asli, the other is going to be harf zaida, extra harfs. How many root letters are there in a noun and in a verb? In a noun, the maximum root letters are 5. In a verb, it's 4. Besides the root letters, what are the other letters called? They're called the extra letters, or the harf zaida. With regards to the root letters, how many types of words are there? Root letters of words, 3 types: sulasi, rubai, and khumasi. The trilateral, quadrilateral, and the words with 5 5 letters, 5 root letters. What are words which what are words which only have root letters called? They're called mujarrad, and those that have the extra letters called mazid fi. Number 6. Which of the following words are mujarrad and which are mazid fi? Rajulun is mujarrad, and any form of rajulun will also be mujarrad. So rajulani is also mujarrad. Takbirun comes from kibr. It is mujarrad. But kabbara is mazid fi, because it has 2 bars in here, 2 of the ain kalma. Next, dhahaba mujarrad, yadhhabu also mujarrad, dhahibun also mujarrad, because all of these are from dhahaba. How is the scale of the word determined? In other words, how do you use the root letters fa'ala to determine which letter is extra? You just got to line it up. You need to find out the base letter. Base letter, for example, it's over here. This is dhahaba, so it's fa'ala. Dha is the fa kalma, ha is the ain kalma, and ba is the lam kalma. So knowing that, if you go to dhahibun, here it will say fa'ilun. So again, dhahaba is still the root kalmas. You take that, same thing with just try to line them up, I guess. What is the benefit of knowing the scales of words? Obviously, benefit is that we are going to properly learn the transformations in words and not make mistakes. What are the well-known scales of broken prose? There are so many of them. So some of the scales are, as you see, أفعال, فعول, فعال, فعل, أفعل, and so on and so forth. Number 11. Make the plurals of بحر. بحر is أبحر والبحار. امرأة نساء. سنة سنة years, a year. سن I think. أخ إخوة. عبد عباد عبيد. فنجان فناجين. أسير أسراء. And that ends the lesson 9, and it's been the longest lesson ever. Lots of things to memorize, lots of things to practice. I've had a hard time myself going over this lesson, so hope you guys practice, and inshallah I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum.